A Promise. Part 2. Shortly after we got married, my wife found out she was pregnant. She went to visit her parents for a while. I was alone in the house. So I sometimes visited my own parents for dinner. They still live in the same house. One night I decided to stay over and slept in my old bedroom. In the middle of the night, I woke up and went to use the toilet. While I was washing my hands, I happened to glance in the mirror. A sliding door in the middle of the corridor was open. It was the closet where I had played as a child. I thought the door had been closed. When I went to the toilet, I turned around and shocked to see that the door was closed after all. However, when I looked back at the mirror, the door was open. A chill went down my spine and my hands began to shake. I thought I saw the door sliding back slightly in the darkness. At that moment, I remembered Neha. I was overcome by fear, but it impossible to tear my eyes away from the mirror. The door was moving after all. In the mirror's reflection, a white mist was floating across the darkness at the back of the closet. As I stared, it formed into a familiar face, the smiling face of Neha. I think I must have fainted. The next thing I remembered was waking up on the floor. It was morning and my parents were still in bed. It must have been a dream, I told myself, just a creepy dream. I wasn't comfortable staying in my parents' house, so after breakfast, I went back to my own house. My apartment has an underground parking lot, so I pulled into my reserved space and parked the car. Just I was about to get out, I glanced in the rear view mirror and did a double take. There in the mirror was the face of Neha. I looked back in surprise, but there was no one in the back seat. I looked back at the rear view mirror and Neha was still there. She was staring at me over my shoulder and our eyes met. She looked exactly the same. The long hair, the pale white skin. In all that time, nothing had changed. I was trembling and I couldn't take my eyes off her. Eventually, Neha laughed. "Hello," she said with a smile. I felt like I was going to be sick. "Why didn't you came back that time?" she asked. "All this time I have been waiting for you." I was silent. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't find the words. "Hey," she said, "come over here and let's play from now on." In the reflection, her hand slowly stretched out towards me. "Let's play here forever," she said. "It's not good," I screamed. I didn't mean to say it so loud. "Neha, I'm sorry. I can't go over there." "I won't go." Neha was silent and her hand stopped in mid-air. Trembling, I grasped the door handle with all my strength and spoke in a small voice. Like the little boy I had been long ago. "I have a wife now. We are having a baby soon, so I can't." I ended up at a loss for words with my head in my hands. I was shaking and shivering uncontrollably and eventually I looked up at the mirror. Neha was still there. "I see," she said. "You became an adult. And you don't want to play with me anymore? Her voice sounded so sad and lonely. I can't, I said. Neha laughed and smiled. It seems like such an innocent smile. At that moment, I really thought Neha would forgive me for breaking our promise. Neha, I began, but she cut me off. If you won't play with me, I'll just have to find someone else, she said. And then suddenly she was gone. Before I could fully understand her last words, she was gone once and for all. Neha never appeared to me again. That evening, my wife called me to tell me she had suffered a miscarriage. Our baby was dead. Then I finally understood what Neha meant when she said, "Someone just like you." She took him. I couldn't do anything. Why did I make that promise? Dear friends, if you like this story, please subscribe this channel.